Link TV, connecting you to the world. Link TV is viewer supported. Watch more at linktv.org.
Celebration and nostalgia for a wall torn down. But what about the walls that remain? Next on Global Pulse. A comparison of how broadcasters worldwide are covering the anniversary of the Berlin Wall coming down. 20 years ago, Europe was reunited as the Berlin Wall was demolished. Many Western broadcasters covered the celebrations in Berlin with nostalgia for the historical event.
Tonight, the wall between East and West Berlin has fallen again.
Formidable feu d'artifice, un spectacle haut en couleur.
Chancellor Angela Merkel thanked U.S., Britain, and France.
A momentous event. Hammers and chisels were hacking away at the Berlin Wall, the symbol of the oppressive rule of the Soviet Union.
It was finally European reunification.
But beyond all the celebrations of freedom and economic prosperity, Al Jazeera asked a poignant question.
One question still haunts me about the Berlin Wall. How could a communist system so soon after the fall of fascism persuade German soldiers to shoot and kill their own civilians, whose only crime was a desire for freedom?
The border guards were deliberately lied to. The government told them all the people they saw trying to escape were criminals or spies. They thought that would make it easier for them to use their guns.
It may seem impossible now that Germans could kill their fellow Germans just for crossing a border. But on the divide between North and South Korea, families are still separated by hostile forces, as the BBC shows.
20 years after Germany tore down its wall, one Cold War frontier remains as unyielding as ever. This ideological fault line of barbed wire and minefields still cuts the peninsula in half. These South Korean soldiers look across to a deeply impoverished country on the other side, much more so than the old East Germany. On the other side of the line lies a totalitarian system, like the old East Germany, backed by a communist superpower. There have been some limited efforts at reconciliation between the two Koreas, family reunions and fledgling business links, for example. Now, 20 years after Europe tore down its wall, the question for South Koreans is whether they can afford to do the same.
During the anniversary, many broadcasters, such as China's CCTV, Iran's Press TV, and South Africa's SABC, covered the Palestinian protest of the Israeli separation wall.
Palestinians knocked down segments of a West Bank barrier during a demonstration marking the 20th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall.
The barrier runs along the line between Israel and the West Bank and cuts into Palestinian territory at certain parts. Israel began building the barrier in the West Bank 7 years ago amidst a surge in suicide bombings. It caused controversy from the outset.
It's time to destroy this wall. This wall separates between us and between our land, and we want to go to the Jerusalem, to Al-Aqsa, to the Holy Land.
Israeli forces use tear gas against activists. The controversial wall runs along most of the West Bank. At many points, the wall encroaches into occupied territories. In 2004, the International Court of Justice ruled that the separation barrier was illegal. The court said the wall must be taken down.
The Palestinian struggle against the wall is a reoccurring theme for Press TV, as this report shows.
This little gate is Hani Amer's and his family's only exit to the outside world. Hani's life turned upside down in the blink of an eye when this wall separated his house from the rest of the village that lies in the heart of the West Bank. His house is now a prison, he says. Hani's 12-year-old daughter says she can't see her friends because of the security procedures. Israel claims the wall is built for security reasons, but the human rights organizations say Israel's wall affects all aspects of Palestinian lives. 5 years ago, and on the 9th of July 2004, the International Court of Justice based in The Hague ordered that this wall that is built around the West Bank and on Palestinian land should be dismantled.
For Global Pulse, I'm Erin Coker.
Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world. To learn more, visit linktv.org.